All right.
Welcome, we're live.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Welcome to our weekly edition of Talking Shop, where tonight we are focusing on the importance of having a morning routine. So we thought the idea of a morning routine was the next best topic for our series for two reasons. Number one, we've heard from so many people who have lost their morning routine from living in quarantine. So where we once had this really predictable routine schedule that may have included, getting ourselves and our children out the door on time to get to work and school, that's now all shifted to a very fluid use of time, where we're facilitating distance learning while taking phone calls from the office and troubleshooting IT issues and even preparing the next meal, right? My kids, the only kids who are constantly hungry all day long. So that initial feeling of quarantine being like an impromptu vacay from the office has completely worn off. And now we hear people yearning for that sense of predictability and routine. And it makes sense because we as human beings, we like to know what's coming next. There's sort of a safety in that. Secondly, it is not a coincidence that so many of the successful entrepreneurs have hosted podcasts or written books about their morning routines. Ed Milet talks about his routine of mini days to be super productive. And Damon John's book, Rise and Grind, drives home his equation for success and superior mindset. And my personal favorite, Jeff Olson, whose slight edge approach reinforces the consistency of the routine being more important than how elaborate the routine actually is. So we hear authors and musicians, visionaries, they reference this creative process or being in the flow. And what everyone is talking about is the daily activities and the routine that facilitates having more energy, having increased focus and productivity, and leaves us with a greater sense of fulfillment. So I am Heidi Gruss, and I am excited to introduce some of my favorite gal pals, some of us that have been together previously on a Monday night. You might already know my favorite ladies, but they are going to share with you all of their great tips and savvy secrets on what keeps them at the top of their game. But first, I want to make sure that we all recognize the significance in what makes our morning routine so valuable. I wonder how many of you can relate to a day that I had recently where my cell phone alarm didn't go off on time because I forgot to plug in my phone to charge the night before. So I woke up 20 minutes before my first Zoom meeting of the day. And even though my morning commute right now is literally just walking downstairs into my home office, having only 20 minutes isn't enough time for me to, get myself presentable, even if it means only from the waist up, and doing some of the things that help me get my mind set straight to have a really productive and effective day. Like responding to some emails and returning phone calls and then just some of the mental well-being, activities that we do. And literally when I start my day behind, I'm literally playing catch up all day long. It feels like I can never get ahead. And in fact, at the end of the day, I often feel more exhausted than when I actually wake up at the crack of dawn so I can have some uninterrupted time, to get ahead of my day. So whether you're looking to become that early bird who gets the worm, or you're looking to refine or expand on your current morning routine, my leading ladies are going to help you achieve that personal sense of fulfillment, a better attitude, and increased productivity. So let's kick it off with Kristen Brady, our fabulous life coach and entrepreneur who helps so many in this exact way. And Kristen's going to give us some of her special sauce right now.
Thank you so much, Heidi. That was wonderful introduction. And I feel so privileged to be amongst all the fabulous ladies tonight, and we're all going to be learning from one another. So there's no right or wrong when it comes to a morning routine. I think what Heidi emphasized there, the key is consistency. And I don't know about you, but I can certainly relate, Heidi, to what you said about playing catch up on your day. And those are the worst feeling days in the world, when you just get out of bed, you're late, you're behind, your kids are waiting for you, and you're just like, let me go, and you're out of breath. And it's like you feel like the day just ran you. Well, that's how I used to feel. I remember early back when the kids were younger. My kids are 5, 9, and 11. We've had a couple birthdays during the quarantine. I can't even remember how old they are. But way back when they were young, I remember when I was not getting a lot of sleep, and sleep was like a priority. You know, if you didn't get a lot of sleep, you knew the next morning was going to be tough. You were going to be cranky. So you're always trying to squeeze in that little bit of sleep. The kids were up that night, and I would start to, add a little half an hour. Oh, I can sleep in. Oh, I'm so tired, and justify it in that way. And then I would hear the kids down in the kitchen making a mess, having breakfast, and I would just come down to some nightmare, some craziness. Well, fast forward to many years later, when I finally started getting a little more sleep. And actually, when I first learned about how important a morning routine is when I read the book The Morning Miracle by Hal Enrod. I'm not sure if anyone has read that book, but that really set off a lot of things in motion, and it really opened my mind up to, okay, I never thought of myself as not a morning person. I had an okay time getting up, but when they talk about people being successful, like you mentioned Ed Milet and a few of those people, they're getting up, and that's when they're really being powerful in their day. That first couple hours is when you set your tone of your day. So for me, I look at it like you can have a mediocre life or a superior life. And actually that morning routine and how you start your day sets you up for that really superior life. And those are habits that you build. So I'm going to share some of the habits that I do. Like I said, back in the day when the kids were kind of running the house and I was coming down to that. After that, I was able to say, I'm going to get up earlier and I'm going to take on the day. So as soon as I learned that, I realized that was a key to success. So one of the first keys is getting up an hour earlier than you typically do. So if you're getting up at 7 a.m. now, I recommend getting up at 6 a.m. And trust me, the first time I heard this, I was like, no, I can't even get up at 7. I'm tired at 7. What do you mean you want me to get up at 6? If you get up at 6 right now and you are getting up to exercise, I'm going to ask you to get up at 5. I'm asking you to get up an hour earlier to be able to set some of these things that we're going to talk about, and some of the ladies after me are going to talk about, on what you do during that time. Okay, so bear with us and hear what we have to say about that, because I think once you start practicing some of this, it happens over time too. First, maybe it might wake up a half hour earlier and then slowly ease into 45 minutes. And then before you know it, an hour is going to seem like nothing. Right now, I'm getting up actually 2 hours earlier than I typically would have. And I am enjoying every minute of that time. I think your life is evolving. Like we said, we're in quarantine right now. For me, that is the only time that I actually have solitude or peace of quiet, peace of mind, where I can do some work. So let's talk about some of the things that I do. So right when I get out of bed, I'm, starting to think about what I'm grateful for. I wake up with an attitude of, okay, I'm here, I'm alive. Those gratitude thoughts really start flooding in. And like I said, around 5:30 to 6 o'clock, which means you need to get to bed a little bit earlier the night before. So you got to plan ahead. You can't be staying up and binging on Netflix till 11:30 at night. A lot of these people that are getting up early, they go to bed. But once I found that this is a key to success, I said, this is what I want to do consistently over time. Okay, so I get up and I actually start with a nice warm lemon water. And I just find that it's nice and soothing. It gets rid of a lot of the toxins. It's good for your skin. And while I'm having the lemon water, I do journaling. So like I talked about gratitude, and I did a thing earlier talking about the importance of gratitude and how that gets you into a really good flowing energetic state versus like thinking about the things that are coming on and the stress and the worry. I start from a place of gratitude and journaling. And then after that, I do a little bit of meditation, whether I add in some breath work. I've really been looking into Kundalini yoga and some different breath work methods now. So I'm always listening to a new meditation. There's so many great apps out there. And after that is where I get really excited, because I can talk about a few of the products. For those of you that know about our isotonic lines, I go and grab the vitamins that I take, and you can see this here. I have a couple in here. And the two that I were introduced to first is our OPC3. Some of you may or may not be familiar with this. If you are not, talk to the person that invited you on this call and learn more about the amazing benefits of these supplements and the superior delivery method that they offer. I'm not going to go into the science behind these. We have so many other opportunities to learn about that, but this was a vitamin B complex and OPC3. You guys, this was the first thing that really led me into this company, and really I fell in love with these products. So you mix the powder, you drink it with water. And I can remember about 8 years ago when I first started this business, that same combination as like a zombie mom driving to my daughter, dropping her off at preschool, I felt this jolt and burst of energy. Like, I don't drink caffeine. I don't have that. Like, because I wasn't having a coffee that morning. It was literally because these vitamins and supplements, you can feel them. The absorption, it goes right into your bloodstream within 5 minutes. There's no fillers or binders. I must have needed some vitamin B bad that day because I felt them immediately. I can remember like being at the stoplight like it was yesterday, and that was 8 years ago, guys. So since then, I have evolved. I take these two for sure. We have a lot of other products. This is a woman's formula. It has a lot of great vitamin Bs, great stuff for skin and nails. You can find out more what product might fit for you, but these supplements, along with many other supplements, I fit and see what's going on in my life. Right now, with everything happening, I'd like to give myself a little boost. Vitamin C, vitamin D. So I sprinkle a little bit more. What I love is I'm customizing my health, and I'm customizing how I want to feel. The last two products that I usually take on a regular basis is our Heart Health Omega-3, which is amazing, and curcumin, which is a turmeric product on a slow release. It's another highly powerful antioxidant. So that is what I do. I take this cup, I drink my vitamins, I'm slowly getting all the nutrients, and I go back to my office, and this is where I try to get some of the stuff done, before the kids get up. And I can go on and on because I just think the power of a morning routine is so powerful. But let's hear what the other ladies have to say.
Thanks, Kristen. And you're right. The morning is so powerful. And I love just repurposing 1 hour. You can get so much done in just one extra hour's worth of time, right? So let's move right along to Laura Bateman, one of my favorite girls on this Monday night call. I want to hear what you're doing with your routine, because you are just managing so many different things right now all at the same time. So tell us what's working for you.
Thanks, Heidi. My routine is fast and simple. I'm usually up and ready to go to work, or again to my living room like we are now, within 30 minutes. That includes a shower. So in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you the start to finish on what my morning looks like. I'm just a get up and go kind of person. And as Heidi mentioned, there's so many podcasts, YouTubes, books that are out there about morning routines and how that creates success. I completely agree. But what I want you guys to think about is that every morning routine may look different. So whether you're grabbing some of these good habits from the other women tonight and trying to change yours a little bit, I know since I met these ladies, I've tried to add in some of that gratitude each morning. So, take what you can and grab those bits and pieces. Mine's going to look different from Kristen's, and it probably will look different from Shelly, who you're going to meet in a little bit. But for me, I have found that my most productive part of my day is from 7 a.m. until 11. So I like to really get up and get going quickly. And that's when I get the most done. So I take my to-do list and I'm ready to go. With that being said, let's take a look at how we get started. First, with your alarm. Don't delay. I'm not big on hitting the snooze button. That is just going to make you more and more tired. So get up and get right out of bed. I too, just like Kristen, I start my day with an isotonics routine. I love that it's customizable. I have a multivitamin that I use with an activated B complex. I've recently added in some extra D because of some blood work that I got done, and some antioxidants, one of them being astaxanthin, because of the screen time that has been increased lately with distance learning and Zooms and all of these fun social chats. I really wanted to support my vision health, so I've added that in first thing in the morning. Next, I hop in the shower, and that's where I use our Royal Spa line. And I love that it's simple and easy to convert all of our spending into an asset. For those of you that have been on some of our other chats about talking shop, you've been hearing this continuous concept being brought up again and again. We're rewarded for using our own products. We're able to buy them at a cheaper price, and we also earn points, and that's shared 100% with everyone on our team. So it's simple to get paid for the Royal Spa line that's in my shower, my shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, body wash, and so on. I have a few ants that have drilled into my head the importance of skincare. So that is one of the things that I do take time for in the morning, and I didn't when I was younger. I'm glad I do now. You know, they still have really young looking skin, and theirs is just flawless. So I think it's good advice. I personally use the Skintelligence line. We have a number of different lines that you can choose from. You can totally customize and personalize that for yourself. But I just love how the Skintelligence line leaves my skin feeling really soft and really fresh. Next, I move to my hair. So my hair is so pin straight, as you can see. And I found a product, I brought it out here, Fix Volumizing Boost Spray. I absolutely love it. It is the only thing that I've ever used that holds a curl. I started using it when my hair was, when I was just using it straight, and it did give me some good volume. But then I found something that would curl my hair at the New York State Fair. And this actually keeps holding the curl. So I love this, and I also love that it smells like something you'd get from the salon. It's just, it smells wonderful. So sometimes I use it just for that effect. Lastly, it is on to some breakfast. And I'll tell you that my routine, it used to be a drive-through at Dunkin' Donuts, breakfast out the window. It was carbs and sugar. It really didn't give me the energy that I needed to sustain a good working day. I've now changed to nutrition shakes, and I wasn't really a nutrition shake person, but my brother, who works in a gym and works as a personal trainer, has tried a ton of them. And I've dabbled into some of what he used before, and they all tasted chalky to me. But I really like the TLS nutrition shake. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. And I love that it has protein and fiber and 22 vitamins and minerals. It's a really great way to start my day. If I have a little bit more time, I'll blend up some greens and add some berries to it, so I have a more complete meal. But I really feel like having this, or adding in even some trim cafe, which is like a healthy iced cafe latte. It is so delicious, and it's not full of sugar and carbs like something you'd get out of a window. So not only is it cost effective, but it really helps me feel like I'm having something that it's put into my body to help me have good, clear thinking and to have good sustained energy. And then that's it. I'm off to get my to-do list done.
Laura, you rock. And you know, those shakes, I just have to say, I'm so glad you mentioned about the low sugar content, because you know, you can look across the board. I've never seen a shake with a nutrition profile like those TLS shakes with only 2 grams of sugar. So anyone who is into health and fitness knows 2 grams or less of sugar is just fantastic. All right, Shelly. Shelly Goudreau is our educator who is working tirelessly, right? And any mom out there knows we all have a greater appreciation for the work these teachers are doing. And so she has been just handling all of the extra tasks, you know, to execute distance learning while building this business and being a tremendous add to our group here. So Shelly, tell us, what's keeping you sane? How are you getting it all done these days, girl?
Thank you, Heidi. It hasn't been easy, but you know what? I have to say, it's my morning routine. I stopped my morning routine for a bit just to get more sleep, just for the long hours and the exhaustion, and it played a toll on me. And as soon as I went back to filling that vase, and when I'm referring to vase, it's filling me up. You know, I changed my outlook once again. So for me too, just like the ladies that spoke tonight, an hour early, you know, I live by it. It's my happy time. It's my moments of stillness before the kids wake up. And in doing that, I feel like it makes me a better mom. But for me, first thing I do, I jump out of bed, and I love light and sunshine. So I open my shades to let the light in. I love the brightness. My husband likes it dark in the bedroom, but when I wake up, the shades open up. It's time to wake up. And then I immediately make my bed. It's that first task in the morning. I make my bed, and I feel like leaving my room, you know, there's already a sense of accomplishment, and it's like an on switch for me. So then I just head down. I have a big glass of water myself, hydrate. And I find my yoga mat. My yoga mat in the morning is like a peaceful island. It's like my time of serenity. I happen to love the Kundalinis, but I also love the flows as well. I love the yoga flows, that full body, gets my blood pumping, allows me to connect with my breath. And from there, it's my time to set my day with intentions. And I too have a journal in the morning. You know, my time journaling, I'm starting off with gratitude. Gratitude, I feel, is such a great way to connect with the present. And I start off with 3 to 5, something that I'm present or grateful for at that moment. Of course, I'm grateful for my family and my home and my heat, but at that moment, it might be my furry slippers, or it might be that hot mug of green tea in my hands, or the sunrise, you know, that I see out my window, or even that bird chirping. But I try to just really be present and connect, to embrace, you know, what surrounds me. And then from there, I write my goals. Some of the goals could be a reminder of who I want to be that day. As a mom, one of my goals every day is making my children smile every day and feel loved. Other goals might be goals that I want for my future, you know, achieve with my team, as a teacher, as an educator, with parents who I have sessions with every day. Then the rest of my routine, I quickly move on to my beauty blend. For me, this has that OPC in it that Kristen Brady had spoke about. And for me, this has not only been a skin saver, but it has given me so much energy, and it's so great for your health. I used to have to go to psoriasis, some light therapy several days a week when I was having babies, because I refused to use steroid ointments. And since I had taken this, which was referred to me as from a pharmacist friend, it has cleared up, and I haven't had to go to light therapy now for 9 years. It's been a long time. So Beauty Blend is my go-to. I call it my morning cocktail instead of juice. It doesn't have all the sugar that a typical juice would, but it's so full of antioxidants. The OPC, but C, D, and E. My go-to drink every morning. And then once I'm satisfied there, I go upstairs, and while everyone's still sleeping, you know, that's my shower time. And when I get out of the shower, I do some skin pampering. I start off, this is my all-time favorite, this little bottle here, vitamin C serum. It has a little nozzle, I put it on the palm, and this nourishes your skin like no other. It gives it like an immediate glow to your skin. Feels so soft, and when you're hitting over 40, the over 40 club, it helps with those fine line wrinkles and age spots too. This is like my go-to every morning. Love this. And then because I'm sitting on a computer, 8 o'clock I start my business appointments, and then by 9 o'clock I'm on the computer for my school children, and I'm testing all day long, and I have sessions with parents. So I have my concealer. This just works great on my eyelids. It gives me a nice bright, wide awake look. And then my Loom stick. This is a new here, and I've never been a makeup stick person, but this stick here is magic. It works on your lips, it's for your cheeks, for a little light glow, and it can fit in your purse. I love the names too. They're all beach themes. This one is Resting Beach Face. But again, lips, cheeks, and I am done. Eye brightener, one stick, and then I use my mascara. Fiberlush mascara, amazing. You get the long lashes, wide awake look without the falsies and the expenses and the work that goes into it. So I've never used any false lashes, but when I started using this, friends and family thought I did. Great stuff. And when you're on the computer all day staring at your image with students, you got to look awake, you know, you got to look awake, and you want your parents and students to be excited to see you and think you're feeling okay. And then lastly, when you have curls, Fix to the rescue. This is anti-frizz oil. Love it. I keep one of these in my purse and one inside always, but just so light. And many times with the hair mask, I just need to use this, and it's enough to keep my hair natural looking and not stiff. And once that's done, I head down, finish my breakfast, and 8 o'clock business meetings, wrap those up, and then by 9, I'm sitting there ready to teach. And then mommy and in between, because as I'm teaching, I have my 3 kids that I'm helping with their digital learning too. Kind of feels like an octopus some days, but you know what, Heidi, that morning time, which I learned too through Miracle Morning, through Hal Elroyd, I believe that was his name, but that really has changed my life. And when I don't do that, I feel such a difference in me. Me as a giver, me as a helper, as a mom and a teacher. I think it's so important, especially as women, that we do fill our vases up. Rachel Hollis, who I follow, love her, she had said something one time that as women, many times we're leaning to the right, we're giving, and we're, you know, leaning to the left, and we're constantly giving and giving and giving, but our water is spilling out every time we're giving and giving. So as women, we need to make sure that we have a firm foundation. And what that means is we need to not forget about ourselves, because in taking care of ourselves is the best way to give back into others. And how that happens is when we fill with what makes us feel our best, be our best, and you know, not lose what we're passionate about, then we just have goodness that overflows. And I hope, you know, anyone that's on here tonight, you know, if you don't have a morning routine, even if it's not an hour, you know, even 30 minutes, just take some time for you in the morning. It's a great way to set your day up for success.
It's so true, Shelly. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know, it's just like that saying, you know, when someone texts or calls, you know, 30 minutes before they're going to come, you know, swing by your house, you know, it's amazing how much you can get done in those 30 minutes, you know, tidying up and things because you want to prepare for them. The same is true here with your morning routine. You know, there is so much that can be accomplished when it's just really focused time, and when it becomes like an automatic routine. You just flow from one activity to the next to the next. And the other thing, you know, you heard from all 3 of these ladies talk about how their own personal grooming is also a really important element in their morning routine. And I have to say, you know, as women, you know, I can remember when I was pregnant with my first child and dealing with a lot of morning sickness. And I had an aunt say to me, Heidi, just get up every day and do your hair and do your makeup, and you're literally going to feel better. And it was something amazing. Like, it wasn't the ginger ale or the saltines. It was getting myself ready. It just made me feel more excited and ready for the day. Like, you know, and as women, I think, you know, when we do fill our vase, when we do take care of us, we do enter the day with so much more energy and looking forward. There's an enthusiasm that we bring to the day. And isn't that contagious, right? So thank you so much for everyone who came on tonight. We appreciated sharing all of these helpful tips, and we hope that it is helpful to you in quarantine and out of quarantine. And we look forward to being with you again next Monday, where we do our next topic. So take care. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.